Hello, it's Mac here, and today I'm going to talk about the Cunning Stunts DLC in GTA Online. So, Rockstar just released a new trailer for this DLC, and they also talked a little bit about it on the newswire and showed off some new screenshots, so I want to talk about it in this video. And the trailer is only about a minute long, and you will be seeing it in the background. And a lot of the things that you do notice in here are just sort of background things and stuff like that, because they haven't really confirmed any say of the new vehicles or any of the new props and stuff. Like, they haven't given names to them and stuff like that. So you do have to do a little bit of a breakdown to actually know some of these vehicles, which I'll probably do later, and talk about some of the vehicles that we've seen in this trailer, because some of them actually look very different than what we've seen ever before. So that's very nice, and they are pretty unique. And as for the actual stunts themselves, they actually look much better than what I was expecting. We saw this DLC first 2 months ago, and they only really showed off a screenshot, and that was it. And they didn't really give much information, so it was all up to speculation. And some people were wanting like a stunt in school and stuff like that. I was never one to think that that was actually going to be added. It doesn't seem like that's going to be added, so it seems to just be like these races and stuff like that. And it's overall looking pretty good. I do have a few concerns, though, and a few questions, and the newswire post didn't really answer many of those. Really, they haven't given much information. They say that next Tuesday they'll have new information, but that's also whenever the DLC comes out. So I doubt that we're going to get any information until the DLC comes out, so we're going to have to wait and see. Once the DLC comes out, how will this DLC actually work? Because there are a few questions I have. One of which is, will we even be able to create these? Because I don't think we may. Because in the first newswire post, they said that the creator will get new props, new vehicles, stuff like that. And that's pretty nice. But then whenever you read the newswire post, which I'll read here soon, it doesn't really seem like there's going to be creator maps, or at least to the extent of what Rockstar is going to make. And I bet that there will be Rockstar created maps. So I'm going to talk about why I think that. And I'll just read off of the newswire post. So they say, stunt races happen on a massive scale, towering above the Los Santos skyline or soaring between treacherous blades of Ron Alternate's windmill farm. Vehicles tear upside down through loops and tubes, launch off ramps with extra propulsion from speed strips, diverge and merge across multiple pathways, and speed through gigantic rings of fire in death-defying new races. The jumps, gaps, terrain, and obstacles in each race are tailored to match the attributes of specific vehicle classes, including new supercars, sports cars, and motorbikes. And of course, racing livery-clad vehicles deserve appropriately tatted and dressed drivers sporting new motocross gear, racing suits, helmets, and a host of other additions. Stay tuned to the Rockstar Newswire for full details when Cunning Stunts launches next Tuesday. The reason why I'm concerned about this is that they say that the races will be tailored to match the specifics of specific vehicle classes. So that kind of means one of two things. One is, if this is in the creator, then you have to choose what racing class this is built for. So if you want a motorbike race, you're going to have to actually, specify that this is a motorbike race and only motorbikes can race on it. And that's one thing that you will see. In the trailer, it seems like all the vehicles are the same. So that's another thing, will you have the choice to choose different vehicles? Maybe that's just for the trailer, but I don't think they actually showed off any race where vehicles were actually different. If you do a supercar race in GTA Online right now, you'll see X80 Protos, you'll see Entities, you'll see Zentornos, you'll see a whole lot of other vehicles, and that's pretty nice for the diversity of each different driver. But then it's well, if you can't choose and it's just for specific races, I don't know how well that's going to fly. The other option is that you can't create these actual races, or at least not to the extent of what Rockstar's created, and these are all going to be just Rockstar-made races, which we'll have to wait and see how many of these races will be. I'm sure that there will be Rockstar-created races for these, but I don't know if people are going to be able to create these types of races. And that's kind of concerning, because if we're not able to create these races, then what's the point? I don't feel like these will be as fun, because, let's be real, Rockstar races, they aren't that great. I think the creator community can make such better races, and we've seen that with other jobs in GTA Online as well. And, you know, I don't feel like Rockstar will even add new races. You know, if these are Rockstar created races only, will Rockstar even update these? Will they just put them in the game, put in, say, 30 new races, and that's it? I mean, they haven't done really that many new jobs in GTA Online ever since Next Gen, really. Like, they don't do Rockstar verified jobs anymore. All they'll do is just put on the Rockstar newswire, hey, there's new jobs, but they're only specific for different platforms, so you can only play like 1/3 of them if you only have one platform. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not too sure on how this is going to work, and I just have a few concerns. Another concern I have is, will these drop your FPS? Because I have a feeling like with all these different props, and especially if you have like 30 people on this, will that drop your FPS, especially on console? Because could you imagine having these tubes and loops and just, you know, lots of different, props and stuff, and, you know, you have just lots of different props, and we'll have to wait and see if this is in the creator, how many props will you be able to have, because they do seem like bigger props than usual, so we'll have to see how much customization you can do with those props, as well as, you know, will these be like freeform props, or are they specific props that you just, you know, try and build from there? We'll have to wait and see. And will that tank your FPS? Because I have a feeling like it may at certain times, especially if you have lots of people and you have lots of things on screen. It could probably tank your FPS, especially if you're like super high in the sky and you have to load all the ground and stuff like that. I don't know how well this is going to perform, at least on console. And so we'll have to wait and see for that. Also, will this update, you know, help the matchmaking? Because let's be honest, the matchmaking in GTA is not that great. And will this improve that? Because honestly, like, this DLC is not going to be fun if you only have like 3 people. You know, this DLC is going to need 15 or more people probably, you know, somewhere above that. And so if they don't fix the matchmaking problems, this DLC isn't going to be that great. It's not going to be that fun for a lot of people if you're not going to be able to get lots of people in these races. So we'll have to wait and see. I do have a lot of concerns, and overall, I think it can be a good DLC, but if it's just Rockstar and if they put too many regulations on it, I don't think it's going to be that fun. But we'll have to wait and see. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like I said, if you do want to go check out the trailer, then there will be a link in the description, as well as to the newswire post. There are also a few other screenshots on there. And so if you want to go check them out, then there will be links in the description. But anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that we'll be able to create these races ourselves? Do you have any concerns? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. Hope you enjoy. Feedback is appreciated. I'll see you guys in the next video.